Hello, today we're going to discuss the book, The Rational Optimist, subtitled, How Prosperity Evolves. You may have noticed that in recent years, we've been bombarded with bad news, climate anomalies, pandemics, wars, economic recessions, high unemployment rates, and low birth rates, among others. All this pessimistic news can make it seem like humanity's future is destined for disaster. This not only causes fear in some people, but also prompts others to reflect on modern life, even questioning the existence of humanity. Some believe that too much technology and goods will lead humanity to disaster, and that the solution is to return to a primitive, pastoral life, resisting excessive technology and desires. However, the rational optimist argues that this perspective is wrong. The author believes that humanity should continue with our current way of life, develop productivity, advance technology, enrich goods, and diversify demands. Instead of regressing, we should accelerate forward to truly address the bad news we face now and in the future. This optimism is not inherent but is a conclusion reached after careful consideration. Let's explore the book's 5 core viewpoints. The first viewpoint is that trade is the starting point of human prosperity. The author argues that the act of trading originates from a deep impulse in our genes and began over 100,000 years ago. The book provides 2 relevant examples. The first is of a zoologist who kept an infant orangutan at home, about the same age as his daughter. He observed that the orangutan baby only wanted food, while the human baby, once it had food, liked to trade it with the orangutan. The second example involves Darwin, who, in 1834, arrived at the southern tip of South America and, upon meeting the indigenous people, gave them an iron nail. The indigenous people immediately traded 2 fish for it. Despite the lack of language, the trade happened naturally. Records from numerous Western explorers show that no human tribe was devoid of trading practices, and this enthusiasm for trade is unique among primates. Our ancestors didn't see their first trade as anything remarkable. They were simply naturally inclined towards exchanging goods. However, this simple trading behavior became an important starting point, leading to a series of positive changes that ultimately advanced human civilization. So, what's the first benefit of trade? Let's look at the author's second core viewpoint: self-sufficiency is poverty. This might sound surprising because, in China, we value self-reliance and self-sufficiency. While this may seem practical, in modern society, almost no one lives a self-sufficient life. However, if you're determined to find such a lifestyle, you can still find it in some extremely remote places, like primitive tribes in Papua New Guinea. These tribes act as a valuable historical window, offering a glimpse into our ancestors' lives. Scientists have observed that these ancestors led self-sufficient lives. They fished, dug wells, and made clothes from tree bark, activities that consumed all their time. If they didn't do these things, they would starve, die of thirst, or freeze. Yet, despite their efforts, their lives were characterized by extreme poverty. You might wonder how our ancestors escaped such extreme poverty. The author believes it's because they found objects to trade. Once trade began, an important result emerged: social division of labor. If a primitive tribe lived in self-sufficiency but found trading partners, they would soon discover that focusing on a particular skill, like fishing, and trading the fish for needed fruits and clothes would make life easier. Even if you're better at everything than others, the most cost-effective approach is to focus on what you do best and trade your output for other items. Over time, tribes that initially did everything but poorly began to specialize, such as tribes specializing in fishing, fruit picking, or hunting. This is how the most basic division of labor was formed. Today's prosperous society is built on this division of labor. For instance, in modern city life, most people don't personally produce food or goods, but focus on their own work, meeting other needs through trade. The book mentions that a person in a primitive tribe spends about 35% of their time obtaining food, whereas urban dwellers spend almost none. In 2008, only 1% of the world's population engaged in agriculture, which was sufficient because most of these people worked in specialized farms using modern machinery and high-yield crops, far surpassing traditional small-scale farming. Of the remaining 99%, 24% worked in industrial manufacturing, and the other 75% met various needs such as dining, entertainment, beauty, and research. This 75% makes our world rich and prosperous. Therefore, poverty means not being able to exchange your time for high enough value to purchase the needed services, while wealth means not only being able to buy basic services but also unique services. The division of labor has brought richness and prosperity to the world. Next, let's consider the third core viewpoint: the human collective brain is key. Humans are the only species on Earth that can store information beyond our genes. For example, an eagle can only pass on skills like vision and talents through genes, whereas humans can store and transmit information through learning and communication. When a clever primitive invented a better technique, it was not in the genes, but could be taught to others, forming a collective brain. The collective brain makes information safer because the chance of losing all information simultaneously is reduced. Additionally, the fusion and collision of information can generate new knowledge and skills, such as modern technological inventions and applications. The formation and development of the collective brain significantly enhance human technological advancement. During the Industrial Revolution, knowledge surged continuously. This accumulation and collision of knowledge further accelerated technological development. Today, the phones and home appliances we use daily are products of countless historical geniuses and inventors. Through the collective brain, we benefit from these achievements without needing to understand every detail. Another benefit is that as stored knowledge increases, information can fuse and collide in unprecedented ways, even reproducing in a sense. This capability is unique to humans and not found in other species. For example, if an eagle wanted to enhance its skills, such as increasing its vision threefold or flight speed twofold, the only way would be through genetic mutation, which takes millions of years. Human collective brain, however, allows for free mixing of information, leading to new concepts and inventions in just a few decades. For instance, today's ordinary breakfast contains a wealth of collective brain information and knowledge. Bread's wheat was crossbred by modern farmers, while bread baking methods were invented by ancient humans. Your smartphone includes Faraday's electromagnetic theory and Jobs' design principles, knowledge accumulated by many historical geniuses. The development of the collective brain has significantly advanced human technology. During the Industrial Revolution, knowledge emerged rapidly, from building canals and railroads to improving steam engines, creating locomotives and rockets, and applying artificial intelligence. This accumulation and collision of fundamental knowledge drove technological progress. Scientists like Faraday, Maxwell, and Einstein enriched the human brain with abstract, advanced knowledge. This high-quality knowledge not only improved our understanding of the world but also significantly advanced human technology. Such knowledge is like the highest book on a bookshelf. Without the support of the books below, you cannot stand. For instance, if you went back to the Middle Ages and taught the smartest person E equals mc squared, they would not remember or pass it on, because there wasn't enough foundational knowledge to support it. Thus, the development of the collective brain is crucial for advancing human technology and civilization. The seventh viewpoint is that pessimism is an intelligence tax. Most of the negative information we see is often sensationalized in commercial operations. For example, candidates in U.S. elections typically use negative campaigning to gain more votes. The panic induced by negative information creates an illusion that every social problem is unsolvable. Yet, the truth is that humans have made significant progress in many areas in recent years, such as reducing global poverty, increasing life expectancy, and expanding education. The author believes that excessive pessimism often causes us to overlook these positive changes and ignore the great achievements humans have made in certain areas. Our pessimism should not affect our objective judgment of reality. We must remain rational in addressing issues. In other words, we should view social phenomena rationally and not be swayed by pessimistic emotions. We need to believe in human progress and trust that our future is bright. These viewpoints are just a part of what the Rational Optimist discusses. The book contains many other interesting contents. If you are interested in human development and economic progress, you might want to read this book.